guys, Laura here, up here in northern Michigan. I just wanted to come out and show you guys the herb garden that we have going on, the wonderful things that are springing forth from the ground. These are great things. They come back every year. We've got strawberries and lots of different herbs. So I thought I'd go around and just kind of show you what I have going on here. I've been really getting into having the herb garden the last couple of years and have really seen how implementing and using herbs by tinctures and teas and salves and stuff like that into our lifestyle has really helped us up our health game and stuff like that. So I thought I'd just go around and kind of show you what's popping up here in the springtime and some of the things that what I'm using them for, and hoping to inspire you guys to maybe start growing some things around your area or foraging, because a lot of them are actual weeds and stuff that you can actually use to help heal for like antihistamine type of things, anticoagulant. You can stop bleeding. You can find things to help you with sting bites and everything like that. So let's go around and look at some of this stuff and see if you have it in some of your areas as well. So let's take a look. So we have over here, this guy right here, that is called comfrey, and it will spread. Let's see, let's go in close to it. So that's called comfrey. It will have white purplish flowers later on. That is a really good weed herb for, it's called a bone healer. So I use it as a tincture form. You can also put it into a salve, but it helps with, like, when you pull a muscle, you can spray that on there and it helps it. If you had a sprain or a break or something like that, it really helps. The healing process goes so much quicker. And what a cool thing. It is literally just a weed. I happened to grab that from my, from a friend who gave that to me. Thankful for that. So I put that in my herb garden, and I have everything fenced in so that I can keep the chickens out. And not a dog, because he's in here with me right now, but just to have things kind of contained from like the chickens and whatever critters may want to come out in here. And a lot of these spread very much, but that's okay. It'll just fill up the space or annoy the crap out of me in a couple of years. I don't know. We have echinacea that has not actually started popping up yet. That seems to come later. It's growing underneath the ground right now, and I will use that in tincture form to just as immune. It's got a bunch of properties and healthy stuff that keep boosting your immune. A lot of us probably have heard of echinacea. It's cool. It's this thing that comes back. It's a purple coneflower. You put it into a tincture. A tincture is basically alcohol soaked. You know, your herbs are soaking in alcohol for several weeks, and you strain it, and then you use it like that. So the alcohol has that ability to draw out the properties of the herb, and then you can preserve it, because alcohol can last forever, right? Or whatever. So, and then that way you have those tinctures and sprays and stuff like that forever. I have a boatload of lemon balm right here. Let's look at that one. So lemon balm is also really hardy, spreads voraciously, but it's definitely lemony. If you were to rub this, it has a lemon. You can eat it. It has lemon flavor as well. You could probably use it culinary wise as well. I use this as a tincture, and it just another layer of adding some kind of health that these weeds and these herbs provide. That I feel like God just kind of placed them in here long ago for us, and now we can figure out ways to use them. So that one, I just use that for immunity. I think other people use them for cold sores if you had that kind of stuff. So something like that. But the great thing about herbs is they have so many different healing attributes to them that I just try to focus on one or two that's really good that I'm going to use for us and our family. Sorry about that. So I'm just pointing out the particular things that we use them for, but all of them are so cool. They're herb of all trades, you know? And then right here I have, let's look at this, stinging nettles. Now, I have not been able to forage them, so I actually planted them by seed. They do sting. They have little tiny hairs on them that will poke you, so be careful when you're working with them. But they are absolutely great as an antihistamine. So they start popping up in spring. I start incorporating them in my teas. I've also used some, put them in my sauté. So you just give them a rinse, and then you put them in your teas, and it gets the stinging part away from it, which is which is what you want, right? You don't want to exactly start drinking any of that. So that's a really great antihistamine. It shows up just in the nick of time for springtime. A lot of stuff is still underneath the ground right now, but now I have lots of strawberries that are starting to peak up. In June, these are June bearing strawberries. They will go ahead and start popping up or giving us berries in June. I've got perennial sunflowers. I've got so many different types of herbs, but I'm just going to talk about the ones that I have growing up or popping up. Oh, my hair's getting crazy. It's windy today. So down here, actually, let's look. This is actually a weed. This is called plantain. What you would do with that grows everywhere. That is so good for getting rid of stings. So if you get stung by a bee or anything like that, you literally just find it and you make a poultice. So you just kind of stick it in your mouth, chew it up, it gets mushy, and you stick it right on the sting, and it takes the pain away instantly. So that's called plantain. That's a wonderful thing. We have some lavender, sage, culinary. You would just use that for sage. Think of Thanksgiving for that. And this stuff over here I have right here. This is yarrow. This is another weed that's everywhere in our yard, and that's really taking over the garden, but I really like it. It will grow much bigger, and it will have white flowers. I have another patch that's kind of like a pinkish purplish, and that is the anticoagulant that I mentioned earlier. So again, you would find it in the wild. You would make it into a poultice, chew it up, and then you would stick it if you were bleeding. Not a big, deep gorge cut, but like any kind of other cuts, you know, baby cuts and little cuts that are bleeding and stuff like that. It's an anticoagulant, and it works really quick. Last year, I was with a friend, and we were on the 𝘙𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙬 River, and it was on around a bend, and a lot of people use that river for canoeing, but it's really fast, and it was around this bend, and there was this fallen log, and these couple older gentlemen came in their canoes or kayaks. It was probably kayaks, and they came around that corner, and they got pinned underneath that tree, and that force of that water, it took forever for them to try to get out. We were trying to figure out a way to cross it to help them, but it was just impossible. We've got all our kids with us, like it was not safe. Eventually they got out, and they came over to us, and we were talking to them, and the one guy had a cut on his shin, and I noticed, I think even my daughter noticed, there was yarrow around earlier. So I said, hey, go get me the yarrow. So I told the guy about the yarrow, and I said, put it in your mouth, chew it up, and don't eat it, but put it on your cut. And it was, it was dripping pretty good. And he did that, and it stopped instantly. And he was laughing at us, saying that he ran a bunch, came across a bunch of witches in the woods, which is absolutely not true by any means. But, because I'm telling him to eat a weed and make your blood stop. But it was funny, but it works. So those are great first aid things. The plantain, the yarrow, that if you can correctly identify them, it's up to you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you are able to, fantastic stuff to have on hand. Another one that's good for like a decongestant, to break up mucus and dry it out, is called mullein. And I have baby mullein growing in here now. And that's what this is right there. It's soft leaves and stuff like that. And it will grow a tall stalk, and it will have a bunch of little yellow flowers. So right now I'm just able to grab the leaves, and I'm putting in tea because I'm trying to get over a sinus infection, which you might be able to hear it in my voice right now, which I haven't had in years. And usually it takes me, like years ago when I first met my husband, I would get these all the time because my system was very out of balance and all kinds of things that was going on. I've been able to heal myself with doctor help, who is a fantastic doctor, and I do all this organic, raising our own food and these herbs and stuff like that. But it would take me weeks, and I have to go to the doctor, get a Z-Pack, which is useless, does nothing, and it makes it worse. And then it would take weeks to get over it. And now I can see that it's only going to take me days to get over it instead of weeks. So I'm very, very thankful that I've got these things planted, and that I have the knowledge, and I've done the research, and I found it, and I've, all that kind of stuff. And then I can able to partake in these wonderful things and feel better a lot quicker, because what a pain. No one wants to get sick in the springtime or ever, and then be down for days, right? Not cool, not cool. And then a couple other things that are actually growing out in our beautiful forest. Look at all those beautiful trilliums. They are just everywhere, 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 everywhere. But there's a couple fun things out here that we can actually forage that I've talked about in some other videos, but it bears worth repeating. These bad boys right here are called ramps, and they are covered in my forest here. And they have like a garlic onion flavor to them, so you can harvest the greens for the recipes that I posted. We make quiches. You put in I made a saute to put on my burgers. I put it in mayo to put on the burgers. I did that today with chicken sandwiches. Oh, it was so good. It's got the garlic onion flavor. They're out here in abundance. I know I'm not going to take everything out from the forest, so it's okay. They also have little white bulbs that you can go ahead and use as well. Right now I'm just using the tops and the greens for all kinds of fun stuff. So that's really fun to be able to go ahead and just kind of use the stuff that's out here. Plus, after winter time, I feel like, you know, like up here in northern Michigan especially, we don't get to have fresh food very often. We get like 3 to 4 months of times where we can plant stuff. I mean, you can extend it, this or that, whatever. But so finally coming out of that long winter, 250 inches, the worst ice storm freaking ever. And now we can find some green stuff to kind of heal us. And it feels really good to know what it is, try to implement it culinary wise, and just use the abundance that God has provided. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. There's also spring beauties that are out here that are edible as well. And hopefully, I don't think it'll focus, but those little cute little purple things, there's some more over here. Those little purple things, we eat those as well. They're just fun. Don't really do anything with them other than just kind of pop out here and eat them, but heck, why not? And I actually think I am finding a lot of violets that are just starting to pop up, but I'm seeing a lot of yellow ones. So I'm going to have to make sure that those are exactly what that is, and then go ahead and start doing something with that, because I know you can make tinctures out of them. People make jellies out of them or syrups and stuff. I try to stick away a lot from sugar stuff, so I don't really end up doing jams and jellies and stuff, but go for it. Why not? Look at these yellow guys. They're all over the place. Those, of course, are dandelions. You can use the greens in the saute along with the ramps and whatever else you can find. Oh, I did the other day I did a saute with butter, melted some butter, did the stingy nettles, the dandelion greens, and the ramp tops, and it made a great saute that we put on our burgers. But you could also use the same combo and put it in mashed potatoes or whatever. Awesome, cool stuff to utilize it. So the dandelion, the yellow pieces, we will go ahead and find some clean ones because we have a lot of chickens around, so I can't say that they're always clean. So we'll find some areas where the chickens aren't, and we will make some shortbread cookies out of them, which is always a fun spring thing, easy cookie that the kids can do, and they're delicious. They just use a lot of butter. So I get the butter from Azure Standard. Seems like the best place I can seem to get organic butter from, so I'm thankful for that. So we're going to use, a lot of fun spring foraging stuff that we can kind of go out here and find. And so I'm just hoping by sharing this, I'm hoping to inspire you to go out in your backyard as well and see what you can find. What do you have out there? So a lot of this stuff is wild everywhere. Of course, different areas have different things, but what are the things that you have and what do you use them for? Share and show and tell me what you're doing, and then as much as I'm talking and sharing and showing with you guys, because let's inspire each other. Like, let's get out of our little houses and go out here and see what the world has to offer for us. It's beautiful things. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I got the recipes. Well, I posted it here on YouTube, and it was just pictures, so you can print them off, but hopefully it gave you some ideas to go out and, you know, forage and cook. So thanks for being here again with me, guys. Make sure to comment. Let me know what's going on. Subscribe, share, you know, all the good stuff. That's how you support me up here in northern Michigan, just yakking it up and talking to you guys and sharing things. See you guys.